Hello friends, Reed Henderson here. I hope that you all are staying safe while still being able to enjoy this beautiful June weather. While we may have taken a break from presenting our Concerts for a Cause, we still wanted to reach out to you all and give an update of sorts. This summer marks the first time in 44 years that the Spring Lake Theater stage will be dark. We will not be presenting the musicals we had planned for this summer, and Spamalot, which was supposed to open in March, is still postponed. We have found a new way to resume our theater and dance classes, though, and present outdoor performances by using the beautiful grounds of the Spring Lake Community House as a rehearsal and performance space. It is truly a joy to see life returning to the community house after 3 very long months. Despite this positive step forward, it's still disappointing that we will not be seeing our patrons enjoying theater with us this summer. So, to help stay engaged with all of you while we are closed down, we will be presenting a new series of videos featuring talented performers from past productions with Spring Lake Theater Company. These performers will talk about some of their memories and experiences performing on our stage. Some of them, like the subject of our first episode, have been performing with Spring Lake Theater Company since they were very young. I'll stop talking now so you can hear from him. Stay safe and enjoy.
When you walk into the theater for the first time, it's like you're transported into this other era or even a different realm. Even from outside, the building looks like some kind of museum or some ancient mansion that they've preserved for the people to come and see. But in reality, it's a community house. It's a community theater where people come and they grow up their entire lives. This room itself, in here, the brown room, it's probably one of my favorite places in the entire building because there's so much history and there's so much involved here, not just my own, but from years and years before I even knew about this place. Hi, I'm Claude Schmincke, and I've been coming to the Spring Lake Community Theater for over 30 years. I remember, I believe I was either 9 or 10 when I first started the workshop here. And I auditioned for the workshop, and the musical director at that time, I remember my mom was asking, so is he in it? And he was like, oh, don't worry, he's in it. And I remember overhearing that and thinking, oh, it was a really great feeling to feel wanted. And I don't think that I've ever not felt that here at this point. Over the years, when I've done workshop shows, I felt special. I felt like part of a community. I felt like part of a group that, it was a home away from home. And Pat, the producer here, has really made it that home away from home my entire life. I think that, there's so many different roles that, it's hard to pick one that stands out. There's, of course, Charlie's Aunt, where I believe that Pat Barry put me in a dress that was the best dress in the show, better than the ones the girls in that were wearing. I remember in Charlie's Aunt that I had to smoke a cigar, and obviously I couldn't really light one on stage. So they have this really cool trick where they put baby powder into it through a hole, so I could puff on it and it looked for a second like smoke was coming out. But of course, the first time I did it, I inhaled by accident and I started coughing, which actually was pretty funny for that moment, so I think I kept that in after. Some of the most fun I've had in roles recently has been obviously the Mel Brooks productions that we've done here, with both the producers being one of the dream roles I always wanted to play, Max Bialystock, which was so much fun, working with Kevin Polk and us having that kind of camaraderie and relationship as Max and Leo. It really clicked, and I had an amazing time.
Because on Broadway, take out $2 million and go to Rio.
Rio? Nah, it'd never work.
Ha! Oh, you have no faith? What if we must set a clock when everything looks bleak? When Sir Edmund and Tenzing as they struggle toward Everest Peak? When Washington sailors troops as they cross the Delaware? I'm sure you're well aware.
What'd they say?
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Me and you. We can do it. We can do it. we can make our dreams come true.
I have to say, one of my most surprisingly fun moments was definitely young Frankenstein, or Frankenstein. As the doctor, I felt that I had finally found a role that I didn't know much about. So I wasn't like looking at, for example, Nathan Lane and saying, oh, I have to be just like him, or I have to strive to that level. It was more like I didn't know anything about, except Gene Wilder. I didn't know anything about the musical itself. I was just doing my own thing. And aside from Gene Wilder, obviously, which was an influence, it was really just like creating this character from the start, from scratch. And it was so much fun. And I just really, really loved that Brain song. And it just goes to show too, coming from a kid who was often in these roles and in the theater too, in the chorus, and then getting a role like that many years later, it just shows the growth that this place has had for me here, and just how it's given me this confidence and this ability to just honestly shine. And it's hard to not have amazing gratefulness every time I walk through these doors, because I just love what this place has offered me. And one of the best feelings I've had is that people who I work with, who are in the disabled community, come see me in these shows, and I get to say hi to them, and they get to enjoy, me up on stage, and it's just a wonderful feeling to come down after the show and give them a hug, or they can take pictures of me in costume, and I just love every aspect of this theater.
Yes, yes, yes. The whole world knows what my grandfather did. But please, I ask you, do I look like the kind of madman who would prowl around graveyards digging up freshly buried corpses?
Well, that's...
Don't answer that. I'm not a Frankenstein. I don't believe in hijinks or tomfoolery. I'm not a Frankenstein. I don't indulge in money's ghost foolery. I deal with facts, not fiction. I am a scientist. I know the truth and reason. That's the reason I exist. There's a vast difference between my crazy grandfather's delusional experiments and my own devotion to pure science. Which brings us directly to the subject of today's lecture. The brain. There is nothing like the brain. I cannot simply hear the voice. Stand against the brain.
I think Into the Woods is always going to be a special one for me, because I've played the Baker in Into the Woods 3 times here at this theater. Once in workshop, I was the Baker as a kid, and I believe that was even my first workshop play back when I was 10 maybe, or something like that. I played the role again many years later, and then recently I played it a 3rd time. And it really, if you think about it, it just embodies the progression of this place and how you can be here. And you might even end up doing the same roles over and over if you've been here that long. But each time it's so different, and it just shows your growth. For example, the first time I did it, obviously, I was a kid. I did the best I could, but I probably didn't really understand what it meant to, be a husband or want a child in that kind of sense. The second time I did it, I probably felt like I had a pretty good grasp on how to be an adult and probably what the Baker was going through. But honestly, I thought I really had a grasp on those feelings and emotions. But when I played it the 3rd time, and I finally knew what it was to have a wife who I treasure and love more than life itself, and to imagine someone who loses her, it really hit me a lot harder that time. And I feel like that was probably one of my proudest performances, is when I sang No More after I found out that she died, because it just really hit home.
No more giants waging war. Can't we just pursue our lives with our children and our wives till that happier day arrives? How do you ignore all the riches, all the curses, all the woes, all the lies, the false hopes, the goodbyes, the reverses, all the wondering what even worse is still in store. All the children, all the giants, no more.
Oh, there's been so many productions over the years. I mean, my first one obviously was a Christmas stage production where I played a toy soldier in workshop, and right after that, of course, it was right into Scrooge. Scrooge was basically my introduction to the adult productions here. And I think that Scrooge has always been a very special thing for me and a lot of people. Even when I moved away from America and I was living in Denmark for a while, I didn't realize how much I missed Scrooge until I came back and started doing it again. And I thought, oh, right, this is Christmas. Because I had forgotten what that felt like. And it's almost like it's not Christmas without Scrooge for me. And it really is a part of a traditional every year kind of thing. And, you know, now that Alan Foster, may he rest in peace, has passed on, sometimes I feel almost like he possesses me to embody the Fezziwig and Christmas spirit. And that's why when I'm playing Fezziwig up there, I don't feel any less close to him back when he was, you know, teaching me when I was a young kid, even into, you know, watching him on stage and now actually playing that Mr. Fezziwig role.
Of all the days in all the year that I'm familiar with, there's only one that's really fly.
December the 25th.
Correct, ask anyone named Robinson or Brown or Jones or Smith. His favorite date, and he will state
December the 25th.
correct.
December the 25th, we hear December the 25th. And we're saying all the years.
December the 25th, yes!
Thank you for watching. I'm Claude Schmincke, and I hope you join us at the Spring Lake Theater in the years to come.